It is how-to time again, folks, and this one is going to be a pretty useful one for a lot of you. This is how I take coconut charcoal bricks like this Cocoa Ultimate charcoal right here and split it evenly, repeatedly, and with great results. Now, let's start by listing off some of the reasons that someone might want to do this. The first and most obvious reason is fine-tuning heating. If you've got a bowl that, say, does really well with 2 full-size charcoal on it, but it just needs that extra kick to make it really start producing great clouds, a half of a coconut charcoal will do wonderfully for that job. Now, on the other end of that scale, this is a micro mini funnel bowl that I had custom made for me by an old friend. And something this small, it's tough to manage your heat when you have 2 full coconut coals on there. It's a little much. There's not, as you can see, there's not much actual space, and those are both over the spire at this point, which is something you really don't want. That's not an efficient use of your heat on a funnel. So instead, we use 2, maybe 3. One more right here. Halves of a coconut charcoal, and you're going to have perfect heat on a really tiny little bowl. But how do you do it? It's pretty simple. It's really a matter of scoring and snapping. This is a completely solid piece of charcoal. I have my coping saw. You can do this with a relatively dull serrated steak knife. Remember that you're not actually cutting or slicing, you're sawing with the intention of scoring. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our blade, we're going to find our center, and we are going to do this on a surface that is easy to clean because, man, this is going to produce a lot of charcoal dust really quickly. And we are going to start cutting. Now, you don't need to be super fast, and the slower you go, the less there is a chance of you actually hurting yourself. I'm doing this the dangerous way by cutting with my hand. Now, this is focusing on the back of the blade, or the back of the saw. There we go. Cutting with my hand down here. I know that some people will take a pair of pliers and hold the piece of charcoal, which is a really, really good idea. If you're not comfortable or you're not well seasoned with using a saw, or if you're using the serrated knife, because that's a little less controllable, I would suggest getting a grip on it with maybe a pair of pliers. Now that I have scored that, and it doesn't even need to be a very deep score. Let's see if I can focus in right there. You can see it's maybe a millimeter. It's not all that much. We take our pliers. Yes, the pliers are here for multiple stages of this project. We put them on either side of that score line. Remember, you're not trying to crush anything. Light grip here, and then just start to twist. Pop. That's it. That's it. That's a perfectly cut coconut coal. Got 2 of them right here, 4 halves. And as you can see, as I drop one, they do beautifully when it comes to working on smaller bowls. Now, there are certain considerations when it comes to cutting coals like this. Number 1 is, like I said, pressure. You don't want to squeeze too hard because it could shatter and then you've got charcoal everywhere and it's really unpleasant. Also, be careful of your eyes. When you're snapping these, there's a chance that this dust could shoot off in all different directions, and aside from making a mess, it also could get into your eyes. So that's why I suggest wearing, at very least, some safety glasses. That doesn't need to be like a full face mask, but you never really want to get a chunk of charcoal scraping against your cornea. That's how you end up with an eye patch and really awkward jokes about pirates. It's not like I'm speaking from personal experience or anything like that. Next, understand that the life of these coals is now going to be less. There's more surface area, which means that these are going to be burning faster. So that's it. This is Paul for Hookah.org saying thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to watch this down and pretty dirty video and how-to. Please go down, make sure to like and subscribe, give us that thumbs up. Make sure to go to the forums, check those out. There's great information, great contests going on all the time thanks to our sponsoring vendors. And that's it. So once again, this is Paul for Hookah.org saying thank you very much and happy smoking.